If you've only got a minute, these are my headlines today. The Polsky Center at the University of Chicago has selected 20 Indian startups for the first cohort of its India Deep Tech Accelerator. India's Center for Cellular and Molecular Platforms is taking applications this month for the National Bioengineering Competition 2026. The Indian Institute of Technology Madras has opened a California hub for Indian deep tech startups. The Indian Institute of Technology Bombay has launched India's first carbon capture, utilization and storage field lab. The Government of India has mapped climate risk in 651 farm districts in the country and found about half of them vulnerable. India's clean energy transition is integral to economic resilience, Union Minister Prahlad Joshi said at a recent CII conference. And in some startup funding news, Flo Mobility and HrdWyr have announced raising fresh investments. Hi, wherever you're joining me, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to India Tech Report, a podcast dedicated to chronicling and supporting the growth of India's deep tech and climate tech ecosystems. I'm HrdWyr, and this is a news brief, so let's go. The University of Chicago's Polsky Center has named 20 startups to the first cohort of its India Deep Tech Accelerator, a global program for IIT-affiliated ventures. The 10-week accelerator is designed to help founders turn research-heavy ideas into market-ready companies through workshops, coaching, and access to customers, partners, and investors in India and the US. The cohort spans AI, robotics, climate and energy, health tech, semiconductors, space, and industrial software. Selected companies include Adaapt, Augle.AI, BioSky Space Innovations, Curium Life, Folium Sensing, NXPEC Technologies, Timble AI, and Zodhya Technologies. The Center for Cellular and Molecular Platforms, CCAM, has opened applications for the 9th National Bio-Entrepreneurship Competition, a platform for bio-entrepreneurs, startups, student teams, researchers, and innovators in life sciences. The program will offer mentorship, industry exposure, and funding support with selected startups and individuals eligible for cash prizes and investment opportunities of up to 20 crore rupees. Student teams can win up to 10 lakh rupees, and shortlisted applicants will attend a 2-day boot camp led by experts from the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. The competition was launched by Karnataka's Information Technology and Biotechnology Minister Priyank Kharge at CCAM recently. The Indian Institute of Technology Madras's Global Research Foundation has launched its first US center in Menlo Park, California, to help Indian deep tech startups scale internationally. The hub, established with CA startups, will focus on research, startup incubation, commercialization, and access to global capital, markets, and partnerships. The project carries a planned investment of $7.5 million, including a $4.5 million greenfield investment from IITM Global. The center is positioned near Silicon Valley and is intended to strengthen India-US innovation ties with a second US center planned for the East Coast. The Indian Institute of Technology Bombay has inaugurated an integrated pilot facility for carbon capture, utilization, and storage, marking India's first end-to-end CCUS field laboratory. The project combines an indigenous carbon capture plant with geological carbon dioxide sequestration in Deccan basalt formations and was launched by Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan under the Bharat Innovates 2026 initiative. The institute said the facility uses a patented aqueous carbon dioxide capture technology and is meant to support India's long-term net zero goals through a self-reliant carbon mitigation model. The Government of India has assessed climate vulnerability across 651 predominantly agricultural districts in the country and found 310 to be at risk, including 109 classified as very highly vulnerable and 201 as highly vulnerable. The assessment, carried out under the Indian Council of Agricultural Research (ICAR's) National Innovations in Climate Resilient Agriculture program, using IPCC protocols, is being used to scale up climate resilient farming practices, district agriculture contingency plans, and farmer support measures across India. ICAR has also expanded climate resilient technologies through model villages, KVKs, and training programs, while the government is promoting crop insurance, water efficient irrigation, and resilient seed varieties to help farmers cope with droughts, floods, and heat stress. Meanwhile, clean energy transition is now central to India's economic resilience and growth strategy. Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy Prahlad Joshi said at the CII Green Business Summit 2026 recently. He highlighted that India has achieved 47% of its power capacity from non-fossil sources ahead of schedule for the 2030 target of 50%, with renewables growing at 15.4% annually against 4.1% for fossil fuels. Minister Joshi emphasized investments in green hydrogen, battery storage, and nuclear energy as critical to energy security and net zero goals by 2070. In some startup funding news, Flo Mobility, a Bengaluru-based construction robotics startup, has raised $2.5 million in a pre-Series A round co-led by Mela Ventures and Arali Ventures. The funding will scale manufacturing, enhance its AI and autonomy stack, expand deployments across India, and enter international markets, particularly the Middle East. The company builds autonomous robots for material movement on construction sites, addressing labor shortages and improving efficiency. Flo Mobility's robots are already deployed in 10 Indian states, with clients including Larsen & Toubro, Godrej Properties, and Sobha. HrdWyr in Bengaluru has raised $13 million in Series A funding, led by IdeaSpring Capital, with participation from Singularity AMC, Avatar Growth Capital, and Persistent Systems. The fabless semiconductor company will use the capital to accelerate development of its AI-native system-on-chip products and expand customer engagements across global markets. HrdWyr said its chips are designed for physical AI use cases, focusing on edge intelligence, lower power consumption, and faster response times. HrdWyr also highlighted a recent strategic collaboration with Boat, a consumer electronics company known particularly for its audio gadgets, as early validation of its approach. That's it for this brief. You'll find the links to all the headlines in the show notes. To support my work, please subscribe to my posts at indiatechreport.in. I'm HrdWyr. Thank you for joining me.